My first guest that I'd like to invite to the podium is Dr. Shmuel Katz. He is the Senior Vice President and past Chairman of the Executive Board of the Greater Miami Hebrew Academy. Please help me in welcoming Dr. Shmuel Katz.
Before starting my short presentation, I want to thank the PJTN under the leadership of the amazing President, Lori Cardozo-Moore, for being the voice of wisdom and truth, carrying the message of God to the uninformed. They took the initiative to motivate many others to share the facts about dynamics in the Middle East and to support the struggle of the Jewish people to the benefit of all people of goodwill. I'm a board-certified surgeon living in Florida. I saw the horrors of war firsthand and decided to try and promote peace through education across the globe. Therefore, I have joined several organizations in the leadership position. One of these most important organizations is PJTN. The topic I will talk about for a few minutes is a two-state solution, myth or reality. Obviously, I will be able only to scratch the surface of this issue and will try to evaluate if this option will solve the Arab-Israeli conflict. If anybody will tell you that the conflict is about division of the land of Israel or about the issues of Jewish settlements, I have news for you. The conflict has nothing to do with these issues. As per multiple assessments of the conflict, it is becoming very clear that the problem is related to a war of civilizations. In other words, it is a war of radical Islam against everybody else. The idea of the radical Islam is to liquidate or to subjugate all infidel, Jews, Christian, Buddhist, atheist, and even moderate Muslims, and to create a worldwide Muslim caliphate that will govern under Sharia law. It seems that currently there are four main Islamic powers which are in conflict among each other, but they are all united in the dream to confront the infidel and even the moderate Muslims. We have Turkey, which practically stops being a secular and has begun dreaming again of reestablishing their influence on the territory which used to be the Ottoman Empire. We have the Iranians that want to have the caliphate based on the Shia tradition. We have the Saudis who would like to have the caliphate based on the Wahhabi tradition. We have the Muslim Brotherhood that recently took over Egypt, who would like to have the caliphate based on the Sunni tradition. When we look at the development of the regional map in the Middle East, following the crumbling of the Ottoman Empire in the First World War, we can see that practically all the modern regional countries were created at that time. Following the Balfour Declaration in 1917 and with the consent of the League of Nations, which preceded the UN, a small percentage of the land of the crumbling Ottoman Empire was designated to the reestablishment of the Jewish homeland in their ancestral land. Due to problems that the British mandate had with the territories of Saudi Arabia in the year 1922, the British violated the mandate and took away about 80% of the designated homeland for the Jews and created the Hashemite kingdom of Transjordan, which became Jordan of today, in order to separate the Hashemite family from the family of Ibn Saud, who ended up controlling Saudi Arabia. This was obviously an imposed two-state solution in that area, which was designated for the Jews. We have 80% of the Jordanians controlling the land, and 20% was supposed to be for the Jews. The Arab-Jewish conflict continued, and new proposals for two-state solution on the remaining 20% of the land were proposed in 1937 by the Peel Commission. The Jews accepted it, but the Arabs rejected it. Later on in 1947, the United Nations recommended again a two-state solution. The Jews accepted it, and the Arabs rejected it. When the British mandate ended on May 14, 1948, the Jewish people declared independence in the State of Israel, which was recognized by the United Nations, but the Arab neighbors immediately invaded Israel and tried to eliminate it. The intent was to destroy it. They had no intent to create a new Arab-Palestinian state. Fast forward to most recent history. Israel left the Gaza Strip in the year 2005, hoping for peace, but instead got rockets into civilian populations by the terrorist group Hamas, which is currently ruling Gaza. The Palestinian Authority, which was created following the Oslo Accord in 1993, which is still in conflict with Hamas, is governing about 95% of the Arab Palestinian population of Judea and Samaria, which is the West Bank of the Jordan River. Hamas and the Palestinian Authority continue to exploit Christians and others, continue to support terrorism, which has worldwide implications, continue to deny the rights of Israel to exist, continue to educate the children that Israel should be destroyed, and continue to demonize Israel across the globe. Therefore, it is obvious that giving away land and more power to terrorists will not bring peace. It will only embolden them and embolden the radicals to continue their plan to liquidate Israel and to control the free world as we know it. We cannot let this happen.